Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight the Colfax Viking Boys are getting ready to take on the new Auburn Trojans in a non-conference matchup. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll join Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to remotely bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We want to apologize to you, the Viking fans, for the technical issues that we had with the video stream from Turtle Lake last Saturday, which made it impossible for us to bring you the second half of that game. So instead, we're going to bring you tonight's game from New Auburn High School. We were originally scheduled to bring you a girls' game against Fall Creek. However, that game has been postponed, making it possible to bring you this game. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the New Auburn Trojans and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to virtually bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the New Auburn Trojans and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to get back on the winning track before getting back into Dunn St. Croix Conference action. The Vikings are coming off a 53-31 loss in their game on Saturday night against the Turtle Lake Lakers. Now, in the portion of the game that we were able to see before losing the video feed from Turtle Lake, it appeared as though the Vikings had difficulty making shots and even more difficulty getting rebounds. The leading scorer for the Vikings was 6'1" senior Noah Hydorn, who had 12 points. The rest of the Vikings struggled to get more than a couple points here and there. The Trojans, who play in the East Lakeland Conference, come into tonight's game averaging 51 points per game while giving up 46. The Trojans are currently 2-2 overall, having defeated Winter 64-24 and Prairie Farm 64-49, while losing to Gilmanton 69-36 in their season opener and to Flambeau 50-41. The Trojans are led in scoring by 6'3" senior center Tristan Harder, who's putting up nearly 20 points per game. Also contributing to the New Auburn scoring is 5'10" junior guard Triton Roby, who adds 9 points per game. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking head coach Mark Noel. And Coach, first of all, I would like to apologize to you, the Vikings, and the fans for not being able to carry the second half of that game from Turtle Lake on Saturday. The video feed from Turtle Lake froze, and we couldn't continue with the game. So I'll tell you what, you were there. Could you fill us in on what happened?
Well, I wish the game would have just stopped at halftime, to be honest with you. Turtle Lake has a very nice team, well-coached team, and we spent the week really preparing for Mondovi since that was our conference game. And going into the week, we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We were going against that 1-3-1 every day in practice, preparing for that game. And we didn't work on our man-to-man stuff all week until Friday's practice. And we just couldn't. Our retention just honestly wasn't that great from the previous weeks of practice. I thought we would have that down, but we just didn't, and it really affected us yesterday. And I think honestly, playing on a Saturday, for some of these kids, their routine totally gets out of whack. They probably stayed up later Friday night. They slept in later on Saturday, and they just weren't mentally and physically prepared for that game.
Well, tonight,
and Turtle Lake, they've got they're a heavy junior team, but a bunch of those kids have been playing since their freshman year, so they have a lot of varsity experience on that team, and they're going to win their conference this year, hands down.
now just for record's sake, since we didn't get a chance to carry the game, can you give us the final score?
Final score was 53-31.
Okay. Sorry to make you go through that pain again, but I'm sure people are still wondering about that. So tonight, maybe a chance to turn things around. The Vikings are going to continue on the road, take on the 2-2 New Auburn Trojans. And what do you know about the Trojans?
They're 2-2 right now, like I think you just said, and they're I don't know a ton about them. I know enough, but at the same time, it's always good to just get outside your conference and play some different teams and try some things. And that's kind of what we're doing here early in the year, is trying some things and seeing what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And that's what I'm doing as a coach too, is I'm learning about all of our kids and what they can and can't do. And as we go through this little situation here right now with our team, that's what we're trying to do. And honestly, we're trying to build for the end of the year. That's what you want to. That's where you want to be playing your best basketball. And we've had flashes. I thought we played excellent against Glenwood City. I think we played excellent for 34 minutes of the Mondovi game. And then we had a step back with Turtle Lake. I really felt like we just kind of took a step back. But there's some reasons into that, I really do believe. And then hopefully now against Turtle Lake, against New Auburn, we can find a way to have some success.
So what do the Vikings need to do to turn things around?
Oh, big time is number one. It always starts on the defensive end. And, we held Turtle Lake as a good team to 53 points. That's going to give you a chance to probably win a lot of games. But offensively, we really struggled. So we got, number one, play great defense. Number two, be able to be on the same page offensively. And we need all of our pieces working together. We haven't even come close to that this year yet. And I think when all of our pieces come together, that's really going to help us. And then turnovers. Turnovers are really hurting us. That and free throws. I keep saying it every time you interview me, but it's the truth. We've got to cut down our turnovers, and we've got to make our free throws.
And one of the things that Dan and I noticed in the half that we did get to cover of the game, shots just weren't falling either, and rebounds. He just really struggled trying to haul down rebounds.
Yeah, in that first half, especially early in that game, that first 5 minutes, they were getting 4 shots to on offense almost every time down, and that's going to be a long day when you give up that many shots. We ended up getting out rebounded by 5 or 6, which isn't terrible total wise, but you just can't give up. One thing I really try to stress to our team is we want to have a lot of one and done. So that means they come down and they only get 1 shot. And the more possessions we can rack up in a row that they only get 1 shot, that's when you got a sign of a good team.
Now, what Viking player should we look to step up tonight?
Well, I would like as a whole, I'd like to see our whole team have success. Everybody have success together. Honestly, we've had some individuals at times, show what they can do. Like Caden having 29 against Mondovi, it was excellent. Tristan having 11 against them, and then in New Auburn, against Turtle Lake, Noah had, I think, 12. He led us in scoring. And so it was nice to see him going. But I would really like to see, like Tanner Hoffman step up. I'd like to see Drew Gibson step up. And I'd like to see Nate Hajdukovic step up as well. I'd like to see those guys play closer to their potential that I feel like they have.
Okay. Now, are there any new reports on injuries or illnesses or anything that maybe anybody, how's Hunter coming along and so on?
Yeah, I think that's our only injury that we've had in the whole program, JV and varsity for the most part. He has an injury from football that, like a partially torn MCL, I believe it is. But with that said, we're resting him. If this was like a tournament game, I think he'd be out there playing. But we just feel like, why risk having more injury than what we need to have right now in these non-conference games and maybe a couple early conference games. Let's just rest him.
You want to be healthy at the end of the season, and so you don't want to burn him out at Christmas time.
Yeah. And by not playing, this last week coming in or this week, he's going to get 2.5 weeks probably worth of rest, which is going to be huge for him. And maybe that'll help him finish the rest of the season stronger.
Okay, well, Coach Noel, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will be able to find a way to get back on that winning track.
Yeah, and I appreciate everyone that's tuning in and watching, and I appreciate you having this service for these kids and these families to be able to watch the games and talk about it. I think that's a really cool opportunity for everybody to be a part of this.
Well, hopefully we get a whole game tonight.
Yeah.
But, all right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to find their winning ways before heading back into Dun St. Croix Conference action. On the other hand, the New Auburn Trojans would like to get one more tune-up before heading back into East Lakeland Conference play. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be headed to our other studio to join my colleague Dan Petchow as we'll remotely bring you all the action of tonight's boys game between the Vikings and the Trojans. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfies. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking basketball.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Over to Hydorn, drives down the left side, lays it up and in. And the Vikings draw first blood.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking Boys varsity basketball game.
Underneath the reback, lays it up and puts it in.
Great pass by Noah Hydorn.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Back out high to Gibson. Three-pointer on the way, off the front of the iron, rolls around and in. That hit the rim about 4 different places before it decided to go down and in. And good evening, and we got caught by surprise. They started this game a little earlier than expected. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, and according to the information we had, the game was supposed to start at 7:15, but it's starting at 6:15 or thereabouts, and even at that, it's a little bit early, but the Vikings have the ball, and they're at New Auburn playing the New Auburn Trojans. They feed it into the lane, and it gets taken away by the Trojans, and down the floor they come. They have it. New Auburn has it in the forecourt. They get it to Elmhurst, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound, chased down by the Trojans. They feed it out high and gets chased down, but New Auburn gets it, and with it right now is Peterson. Feeds it over to the left side. They get it down into the left corner, and the ball gets taken away by the Vikings, and down the floor come the Vikings. That's Hajdukovic getting it over to Hydorn, down in the corner to Gibson. Back out high to Hydorn on the left side. Now he takes it out between the circles. Over to Hajdukovic on the right. Hoffman, then down to Gibson, but it got taken away by New Auburn. Feed it down underneath, and with a long shot, but the Vikings come away with it. They get it down the floor, laying it up, and no good. Coming away is the Vikings, or New Auburn. And we have a whistle and a foul underneath. That'll be the first foul. And let's see. That foul, well, we didn't know who it was on, but anyway, it was on the Vikings. And so in with it is New Auburn. That's Lotz with it. They get it down into the corner, and it goes out of bounds, New Auburn's ball. That one kind of caught us by surprise, Dan.
Yeah, we're pretty relaxed back here.
Yeah, we were expecting a Viking pregame show, which we unfortunately didn't get a chance to run. Long shot from 3, no good. Rebound taken down by New Auburn. Whistle and a foul, and it's going to go against New Auburn. It's going to be Viking ball. Still have no score in this game. And the Vikings inbound it. Hydorn with it across the timeline. He's between the circles. Gets it over to Hajdukovic on the left side. Now down underneath to Gibson. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by New Auburn. And down the floor they come. They feed it down into the left corner. Puts up the shot, and he hit it. First points of the game go to the New Auburn Trojans. And the Vikings have it. They get it down underneath. Now Gibson from the left corner puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by New Auburn. They feed it down the left side. Now down it, driving towards the lane, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Quickly they come down the floor, down the lane, laying it up. No good. He couldn't get the shot to drop. And down the floor come the New Auburn Trojans. From the left side, an alley-oop type pass gets batted away by the Vikings, and a solo run, no good on the layup by the Vikings, and here comes New Auburn back down the other way, and we're going to have some wholesale substitutions for the Vikings. Cross-court pass, and it goes off the foot of Triton Roby. 5 in, 5 out. It's like a hockey line change going on for the Vikings right now. 3-0, New Auburn with the lead. Coming down the floor are the Vikings. Down into the right corner. Cross-court pass. Then a shot from the left corner, and that went in.
Out of bounds.
They're going to say it's an out of bounds. So we'll take the points off the board. Still 3-0. New Auburn with the lead. Ball gets taken away by the Vikings. They get it over to Knutson on the left side, or on the right side. They get it across over to Ensminger. And we have a whistle and a timeout being called. We'll kind of regather ourselves here with a timeout on the floor. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at New Auburn. And the Trojans drive down, they put it up and in. While we were away, we realized that the shot that we thought was a 3-pointer for New Auburn was only a 2. Vikings put up a shot, it's no good. Down the floor come the New Auburn Trojans. Cross-court pass over to Johnson. Gets it out high to Elmhurst. Now over to the left side. I believe that's Roby. Try to get it down to the baseline, but it goes out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it. You'll have to put up with this. The numbers are kind of hard to pick out tonight. This is Ensminger with it. He gets it over to Albright. Now down into the corner to Lenz. Back out to Albright. To Ensminger to Albright. They're on the left side now between the circles to Ensminger. Gets it over to the left side to Lenz. Drives down the left baseline. Lays it up, no good. Rebound. Being tapped around and coming away with it are the New Auburn Trojans. Brandon Johnson on the dribble. Across the timeline. Feeds it out to the top of the circle to Elmhurst. Now down in the lane. Turnaround jumpers up, no good. And the rebound chased down by the Vikings. Albright with it. Across the timeline. Takes it to the right side. Down into the right corner, back out to Albright. Now, out between the circles to Ensminger. Down low, we're trying to see that number, and we can't, but the Vikings put it up and in. Finally get off that 0. 4-2, New Auburn with the lead, 11:39 to go in half number 1. Lots with it between the circles. Gets it down into the left corner. Driving the baseline, laying it up, no good. The Vikings come away with the rebound. Taking it down low. No, it doesn't go. And then Lenz tries to put the follow-up up, and he got fouled on his way up. So Tristan Lenz going to the line for the Vikings. And Lenz's first shot is on its way, and it's good. $11:19 to go in the first half. Second shot off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by New Auburn. And down the floor they come. I believe this is Elmhurst with it. Feeds it into the lane to Harder. He loses the handle on it, and here come the Vikings. Ball gets tapped around, out of bounds, and it went off of New Auburn. Vikings will retain possession. And we have a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, New Auburn 4, Vikings 3, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
And back at New Auburn. Vikings have the ball. And between the circles is Ensminger. Gets it over to Albright. Then to Lenz. Back over to Albright on the left side. And we have a whistle, and he walked with it. 10:46 to go in the first half. And we have some substitutions for the Vikings. Neither team able to get that ball to go through the hole very much. Here comes New Auburn down the floor. They get it over to the far side, pass between the circles and over to the near side. Three-pointer goes up, no good. Rebound taken down and put up no good. That shot was by Harder, and it gets knocked out of bounds off the Vikings. Lots to inbound. Feeds it over to Roby. Back to Lotz. Lotz tries to pass it into the lane. It gets tipped, and the Vikings come away with it. Down the floor underneath Gibson, puts it up. It goes in. They're going to count it. And Gibson's going to go to the line. And that is the second team foul on New Auburn. Oh, okay, third team foul. And the shot was good. So New Auburn inbounds it, brings it down the floor. That's Roby with it across the timeline. Cross-court pass to Johnson. Now a high to Lotz, puts up the three. It's not good, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Viking ball. Heidorn with it for the Vikings, bringing it up across the timeline. Tries to get it to Hajdukovic, but it was a little too hot for him to handle. It goes out of bounds, and New Auburn's going to have it. And down the floor come the Trojans. They feed it over to the left side, high, wide, and left. Then they get it to the free throw line to Elmhurst. Then down into the right corner. Now back out high to Roby. Down underneath, they put it up, no good. Rebound being fought for, and coming away with it is Hajdukovic for the Vikings. He quickly comes across the timeline, feeds it down into the right corner. Back out high to Hajdukovic, then into the lane, they put it up, and it does not go in.
So lucky they're a bad shooter.
So New Auburn brings it in. Down the floor. This is Lotz with it. Feeds it down into the corner. That's to Peterson. Then they get it out to Elmhurst. And we have a traveling call being called on New Auburn. And it'll be Viking ball. Gibson to inbound. Gets it to Heidorn. Down the floor comes Heidorn. Right through the Trojan head symbol at center court. Gibson has it. Free throw line extended. Puts it up. Check that. That wasn't Gibson either. That was Tanner Hoffman. Yes. And he missed the shot. Down the floor come New Auburn. It's Elmhurst. Over to Roby. Down into the corner. Looking for a shot. It goes up. No good. And down the floor come the Vikings. Hajdukovic feeds it to Hoffman, I believe. Puts it up. No, that was Gibson. Gibson on the lay-in. So Vikings up 8-4 now. On the left side is New Auburn. And they put it in. And we have a timeout being called by the Vikings. Vikings lead 8-6 with 8:02 to go and half number one. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back at New Auburn. Vikings lose the handle on it, and New Auburn comes down the floor. Roby with it on the near side, feeds it into the lane to Johnson, tries to go up with it, got fouled on the way up. That's going to be a foul on the Vikings, and it's team foul number 3.
Yep.
Johnson at the line. His first shot is on the way, and it goes through. And the second shot's on the way. It's also good. We are all tied at 8. Vikings inbound it, but it went off a Trojan, and it goes out of bounds, so Vikings will get another shot at inbounding the ball. Ball comes into Ensminger, and he's tied up. I believe, yeah, we have a foul being called on New Auburn with a hold right down there near the baseline. So the Vikings will inbound it again. That's foul number 4 on the Trojans. Ensminger again down in the corner. Gets it out to Lenz. Lenz still in the backcourt on the dribble. Gets it over to Ensminger. Ensminger double teamed. Gets it across the timeline to Lenz. Lenz on the left side. He's free throw line extended. Now back out high to Ensminger. Ensminger over to Albright. Albright feeds it down low. And then it gets back out to Ensminger. Ensminger feeds it into the lane to Riedesdorf. Back out to Albright. Gets the ball knocked loose at the free throw line, but he recovers it. Gets it over to Ensminger. Ensminger drives into the lane, and that shot got rejected by the Trojans. Viking ball. They inbound it to Ensminger out high between the circles. Over to the right side. And back to Ensminger on the left. To Albright, to Ensminger, to Lenz. And to Albright with a three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound tapped around. Albright gets it, puts it up, and it goes home. Ten to 8, Vikings on top. Down the floor comes New Auburn. They feed it down towards the free throw line, and the ball gets knocked away. And we got a foul being called on the Vikings. That's team foul number 4 on the Vikings. Checking into the Viking lineup is Nick Jensen. He's replacing Mitch Riesdorf. Auburn with it. From the right corner, it rattles around and does not go in. They get the rebound, put it up and in. That was Johnson on that shot. And we're tied at 10. Down the floor come the Vikings. They feed it out to Albright. Then they get it over to the right side. The shot is no good, but comes right into the hands of Ensminger. His shot is no good. And down the floor comes New Auburn. Little battle for it down under the lane. Vikings come away with it and try a long pass, but it's intercepted by New Auburn. And then gets knocked out of bounds. So the Vikings to inbound it. They have it on the right side. Get it out high. That's Albright. Over to Hydorn, then down into the right corner, and they lay it up and in. I didn't see who made that one. I just saw the hands go up and put it in. I think. Well, anyway, here comes New Auburn down the floor.
Elijah Ensminger with the last 2 points for Colfax.
And down the floor come the Vikings. And we have a whistle and a travel being called on the Vikings. Kind of a sloppy first half by both teams.
Yeah, fast and a little sloppy, a little out of control.
And not making sure they're squared up to the basket when they take the shots. And we have a timeout on the floor. 5:13 to go in the first half. It's Vikings 12 and the New Auburn Trojans 10. And you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour, and another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at New Auburn with 5:13 to go in the first half. Vikings on top. By the way, our next game being broadcast on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be tomorrow night when we have the Vikings taking on Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. That game will start at 6:55 with Viking pregame, and live play-by-play will start at 7:10. New Auburn has the ball. They come down the floor, cross the timeline, get it to Lots, feeds it down into the lane, laying it up, and in is Tristan Harder. And we are tied at 12. Vikings inbound it, get it down the floor. Erickson feeds it down onto the right side, laying it up and in.
I do believe it's Tanner Hoffman.
I believe you're right. Tanner Hoffman with the layup from the right side. Down the floor comes New Auburn. They have it on the left side. Turnaround jumper is up and in. And we're tied at 14. Now the shots are starting to fall. Down the floor comes Jensen, but he loses the handle. And down the floor, back the other way goes the New Auburn Trojans. This is Roby. He gets it out high to Lotz. Over on the far side to Elmhurst. They feed it down underneath. Shot goes up, being fought for underneath on the rebound, and we have a foul, evidently. Being called against the Vikings, and we didn't see who it was called on. Ensminger and Jensen come out of the lineup. Hajdukovic and Gibson back in for the Vikings. Watts with it, gets it out high to Roby, and he took an extra step. So it'll be Viking ball on the side. Gibson inbounds it. Vikings take it over to the far side. We have a travel call being called on the Vikings, and I believe that was on Hoffman. So New Auburn has it. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds. Vikings have it out high. Feed it over to the free throw line, extended on the left side. Kick it back out high. Three-pointer on the way. No! Rebound taken down and laid back up and in.
That's it by number 23, Noah Heidorn.
That one ties the game at 14. Ball gets tipped as the Trojans try to get it across the timeline. They do get their hands back on it. Laying it up from underneath is Elmhurst, and the rebound gets taken down by the Vikings. Quickly down the floor come the Vikings. Long shot from three is no good. Elmhurst with the rebound. He goes to the floor, and we're going to get a travel being called, I believe. He did go to the floor with it. And the Vikings do have the ball, and at first it looked like he was calling a foul, but no, it was just a traveling call. They feed it into Gibson. Turnaround jumper puts it up and in. 16-14, Vikings on top. Here comes New Auburn down the floor. They give it to Lotz on the near side. Feeds it out into the middle of the lane. It is being scrambled for on the floor. And New Auburn gets it, laying it up, and overlaying it was Elmhurst. And down the floor come the Vikings. Pass intended for Heidorn, gets tipped, but he gets it to Gibson, drives the left baseline, no good on the shot. And here comes New Auburn. Get across the timeline to Roby, and Roby again took an extra step. That's the third or fourth time down the floor Roby's taken that extra step.
Gotta watch the feet.
Gibson inbounds it to Heidorn. Heidorn at the top of the key. They get it over to Hajdukovic on the left. Back out high to Heidorn. Feeds it into the lane to Gibson. Jumper goes up, bounces around, no. Follow-up is no good. Rebound is up and good. I believe that was Tanner Hoffman. 18-14. Ooh, that was very close to over and back by New Auburn. Roby had it at the timeline and then passed it back into the backcourt. And they take it in for a layup. And that was Lotz with the shot. Vikings bring it back down the floor underneath, laying it up, no good. That was Gibson with the attempted shot. Ensminger into the lineup for the Vikings.
Fouls on Gibson. That's the team's 6th foul.
All right, so New Auburn will be in the bonus from this point on. Down the floor come the Trojans. Out between the circles, feeding it over onto the near side to Lotz. And we have a whistle and a foul being called.
23.
I think you're right.
No Hydor.
And so that's going to put Lotz to the line. Shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Hydorn has it, drives into the lane, puts a shot up. No, it doesn't go down. And down the floor comes New Auburn. Feeding it over to the left side. Now back out to the top of the key to Lotz. Feeds it down underneath. Now out to the right corner, and the shot is no good. Rebound tipped around. And we have a whistle and a foul being called on New Auburn.
That's their 5th foul.
Albright into the lineup, replacing Ensminger. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Now out at the top of the key. Hydorn tries to feed it into the lane, but it got knocked loose, and New Auburn quickly back down the floor. Driving the baseline was Johnson, and he does not get it. Gibson taking it coast to coast, laying it up and putting it in. 20-16, the Vikings on top. Here comes New Auburn right back down the other way. Johnson with it, feeding it down underneath to Lotz. Tries to drive the baseline. The shot kind of got rejected, and Lotz got his hands on it. And then it went out of bounds. So it'll be Vikings ball. And down the floor comes Hydorn. Feeds it over to Erickson on the left side. High, wide, and left for Caden Erickson. Getting it back over to Hydorn between the circles, to Gibson at the free throw line. Now back out to the right side, to Hajdukovic.
Going for the last shot.
Feeds it underneath. That was Caden Erickson with the 2. 22-16, and the Vikings have the lead at the end of the half, and we will have Viking halftime coming up right now.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Noah Hydorn, and Noah is a senior here at Colfax High School, and we're going to get to know Noah a little better right after this brief timeout.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Noah Hydorn on Viking Profile, and Noah, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
I play a few other sports. I run cross country in the fall and track in spring, so...
Yeah, in fact, you had a pretty good cross-country season, didn't you?
Yeah, I did sectionals, but then that was the end of that for me. So
Yeah, that was a pretty tough. I was over there at the sectionals watching that, and there was some difficult competition there. So, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
well, I've been playing basketball for as long as I can remember, because my dad played with me when I was really young, and as soon as I was able to get into like organized basketball, he just threw me in there. So that's I've been playing it for as long as I can remember, and that's
You're probably one of those kids that had a basketball in his crib with him, right?
oh yeah.
Okay. So, what's the most important thing you've learned from playing basketball?
Probably how to work with others, because you're not going to get it done by yourself. You gotta
Right.
cooperate and get things done.
Okay. So, when you're not playing basketball or you're not at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Geez, so playing video games has to be one of them. I'm not gonna lie there. So outside of basketball, man.
So, what is your
basketball is cool.
go-to video game?
Probably NBA 2K. So not far
Okay.
from basketball there.
There you go. So, I've got some rapid-fire questions for you, Noah. Pie,
All
ice
right.
cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream for sure.
Okay, is there a particular flavor?
Let's go with cookies and cream.
That's pretty good. All right, your favorite color and why?
Ooh, not really sure why. It's just kind of cool.
Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Definitely have to say fly. I just fly everywhere.
All right. Now, do you have a favorite NBA team?
Definitely the Minnesota Wolves.
Okay. And how about a college team?
Minnesota Gophers. So
Okay. We're talking with Noah Heidorn here on Viking Profile. And Noah, what are your plans for after high school?
hopefully college at the U of M, and we'll see where I go. Not really decided.
Okay. How about a shout out to your family?
Shout out to mom, dad, and Luke's actually the assistant coach here, so at the time. And of course, my two other sisters, Allie and Molly, they're all cheering me on and giving me more things to work on. So
Right. And you know what? That's the way it ought to be. So when people watch Viking games on NLWN-TV, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
I wear number 23 and I'm the point guard here, so that's what
Okay. So we want to thank Noah Heidorn for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, we have more Viking Profile, or Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
Colfax Viking Athletics continues with boys and girls basketball teams wrapping up the 2020 portion of this season. The girls Viking basketball team went 1-1 last week and moved into a tie for first place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. They opened last week with an eye-opening loss to the Regis Ramblers by a score of 44-36 in a game the Vikings felt they could have won. Then they wrapped up the week on Friday with a stunning 58-45 victory over the conference-leading Durand Panthers. That victory moves the Vikings into a first-place tie with the Panthers in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, with each team sporting a 3-win and 1-loss conference record. The Viking boys struggled by going 0-2 last week with a loss last Thursday to Mondovi 74-63, and then getting handled by Turtle Lake on Saturday by a score of 53-31. That puts the Viking boys at 1-1 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference and 1-3 overall. Coming up this week, it's all Viking boys as they take on the New Auburn Trojans on Monday, and then back into the Dunn St. Croix Conference action on Tuesday when they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We'll carry both those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV with Viking pregame beginning at 6:55 p.m. and live play-by-play at 7:10 p.m. The School District of Colfax will begin the annual holiday break beginning on Wednesday of this week, and school will resume on Monday, January 4th. Following that holiday break, to start off the new year, the Viking boys will get back into action on Tuesday, January 5th, when they host the Chippewa Falls McDonald Maps, and then on Friday, January 8th, when they host the Durand Panthers. And the Viking girls will get back into action on Thursday, January 7th, when they travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. We'll carry all of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV with Viking pregame beginning at 6:55 and live play-by-play at 7:10. We here at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV would like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy holiday season. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School for December 21st through January 9th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back at New Auburn High School. And we're getting a little echo here. And that's easily solved. And Dan, why don't you let us know unofficially what the scoring looks like as the Vikings have that 22-16 lead.
Yeah, here's the scores right now for... Here's the scores right now for the New Auburn Trojans. Their scores tonight are number 2, Braden Johnson. He has 4 points. Matt Elmhorst has 2. Brandon Lotz has 2. Cole Peterson has 2. Austin Woolover has 2. Ethan Lotz has 2, and Tristan Harden has 2 for the Colfax Vikings. Right now, their leading scorer is number 33, Drew Gibson. He has 7 points, followed by Tanner Hoffman and Ryan Albrecht with 4. And we have Elijah Ensminger, Caden Erickson, and Noah Heidorn with 2.
Okay, very good. And we're just getting ready to start the second half. New Auburn will have the ball as they're moving from right to left. And again, we're trying the best we can to see the numbers. We are doing this game virtually, so we're trying. We want to thank New Auburn for the video feed. Although the Vikings steal the ball, get it to Hoffman, tries to drive in the lane, lost the handle, and put back up by Hajdukovic, and it's no good. New Auburn comes away with it. Quickly down across the timeline, Johnson on the dribble between the circles. Feeds it down to the free throw line to Elmhurst. Drives into the lane. The ball gets knocked away by the Vikings, and down the floor they come. Hoffman with it on the right side. Feeds it down underneath, and that was Gibson with the shot. 24-16, Vikings on top. Long pass intercepted by Gibson. Here he comes down into the lane. Lays it up. No, it doesn't go. Follow-up is up and in. I believe that was... I couldn't tell if that was Heidorn or...
That was Gibson again. Hey.
Okay. 26-16 anyway. The Vikings have it. New Auburn has it in the forecourt. They feed it over to the near side to Roby, who turns around, tries to dish it back out to the outside, but it got tipped by the Vikings and out of bounds. So Johnson is going to inbound it on the left side. Gets it down into the corner to Roby. Feeds it underneath. The shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Long pass to Erickson. Drives into the lane. He puts it up, no. Follow up, no. And the Trojans come away with it. Down into the left corner. Now out to the free throw line to Elmhurst, and the Vikings come away with the ball. To Gibson, down over to the left corner. Now a little bit higher, trying to drive into the lane. Now driving the left baseline, and the shot goes up, and no good. That was Heidorn with the shot, but he got fouled on his way up, and he's going to go to the line. Yeah, Dan and I were talking about it. Seems like we're a little further. They have the focus set a little further back. First shot is good. And it seems like the shot is a little blurrier than what we're used to. And it is kind of hard to read the numbers as the second shot goes through the hole. At least we can see that. And here come the Trojans up across the timeline. They get it over to Elmhurst, then down into the corner. Ball gets batted out of bounds by Gibson. Auburn inbounds it over to the left corner. That's Lotz. He gets it out high. Then Elmhurst has it at the free throw line. Feeds it over to Lotz on the left side. Back into the lane to Elmhurst, and he put it up and in. 28-18, Vikings up by 10. Here come the Vikings down the floor. Shot by Erickson, up, no good. Rebound followed through, and it does not go, and New Auburn has the ball. They have it between the circles. Johnson feeds it over to the right side. They try the right baseline. They put it up. It does not go in. Rebound batted around on the floor, then back out high. This is Roby with it, and now to Lotz down in the left corner. Ball gets knocked loose and off of the Vikings. That was off of Gibson, and New Auburn has it. Johnson to inbound it. They get it over to Elmhurst at the free throw line, over to Lotz on the right side. Down in the right corner, cross-court pass to Roby from the left free throw line extended, put it up, and he got the three-pointer. 28-21, Vikings on top. And New Auburn putting on some full-court press, and the inbound pass does not make connection, goes out of bounds, and New Auburn will have it after the timeout that was just called by the Vikings. So we have a timeout on the floor. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we are back at New Auburn. Well, we have the picture back from New Auburn.
Yeah, we're not New Auburn.
So inbounding it will be Gibson. Tried to talk the official into letting him have the ball, but that didn't work. New Auburn has the ball, and down the floor across the timeline they come, feeding it over to the free throw line extended to the left to Johnson. Now he dribbles it back out high, cross court pass over to the right side. Now back out high to Elmhurst, and the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. They feed it down to Erickson. Kicks it out to the left side. It's Hajdukovic at the top of the key. To Gibson from three. No, it doesn't go in. Ball's being knocked around. Hoffman with it. And his pass into the lane got intercepted by New Auburn. And as they were coming down the floor, it got knocked out of bounds off the Vikings. Johnson with it. Leads it down into the corner. Ball comes into the lane to Lotz, and now it's being scrambled for on the floor. We have a whistle. Jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Vikings on top, 28-21. We're in the second half. Inbound pass, and that was knocked away by Elmhurst and straight out of bounds, and so now the Vikings will get another crack at it. In the process of doing that, he almost took off Gibson's head. Inbound pass to Hydorn. Back over, the ball actually hit the rim and the cross-court pass, and the ball gets taken by New Auburn. Have it over on the right side. Now they feed it towards the lane, trying to get a shot off, and through a lot of Viking arms, Gibson comes away with it, lays it up and in. 30-21, Vikings on top by 9. Elmhurst with it across the timeline. He feeds it over to Roby. Now to the top of the key to Elmhurst, and then down underneath, I believe that was Lotz. No, take that back. It was Harder with that shot. 30-23, the Vikings are on top. Gibson leads it into the forecourt. Erickson with the drive towards the lane. It goes up no good. Rebound, well, it gets knocked out of bounds, and we're going to have massive substitutions for the Vikings. 5 in, 5 out. Riesdorf, Lentz, Knudsen. I think Ensminger is in there. Vikings inbound it out to Ensminger, out high, wide, and right. Cross-court pass. Now back to Ensminger on the right side. Gets it out high to Knudsen. Now they get it down into the left corner. Try to get it across the lane. It got knocked away by New Auburn, and they come up with the ball and across the timeline. They have it on the left baseline. Driving is Elmhurst and putting it up, and no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Albright with it. Over to Ensminger on the, he's high, wide, and right. To Lenz at the free throw line. He kicks it over to the left side, back out to Ensminger between the circles. To Lenz at the free throw line. Drives into the lane, he puts it up, but there was a whistle beforehand. Evidently he walked with it. In the process of trying to drive the lane, took an extra step before he got the dribble down. So here comes New Auburn in the backcourt, under some pressure. Vikings steal the pass and laying it up and in. I believe that was Albright with the, or Riesdorf, one of the two of them, and then New Auburn puts it up. The one for New Auburn was Tristan Harder. And we have a whistle. And we have a foul on New Auburn. 32-25. Vikings are on top. Ensminger has it across the timeline. Albright on the right side, drives down to the right baseline. There's some heavy pressure, gets it out to Ensminger, free throw line extended right. Now out to the top of the key. Knudsen, then over to Ensminger, drives into the lane, feeds it underneath to Riesdorf, and he put it up and in. It's Riesdorf on that one. And here comes New Auburn back down the floor. Roby with it. He feeds it down into the lane to Elmhurst. Puts up the shot. No. Rebound chased down by Riesdorf. Gets it over to Ensminger. Takes it across the timeline. Ensminger to Albright. Back up to Ensminger. Back to Albright. All on the right side. Ensminger out high now between the circles. To Albright down on the right side outside the arc. Ensminger drives into the lane, goes up, and goes through. Elijah Enfinger with the shot. And we have a timeout being called on the floor with the Vikings taking an 11-point lead, 36-25. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Check names off your gift-giving list. Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Dairy State Bank.
And we're back at New Auburn. Well, our picture is.
Yeah.
And New Auburn's going to inbound the ball. Vikings on top, 36-25. Watts has it in the backcourt. Vikings putting on some full court press. Watts takes it down, feeds it underneath the Elmhurst. They put it up, and we have a whistle and a foul. And I'm not sure who that ball was on. But it was on the Vikings.
Yep,
So
number 24, Mitch Reidsdorf.
Is that their first foul of the half?
That is Colfax's first team foul.
Shot goes on the way, rattles around, and does not go in. This is Elmhurst at the line. He's getting ready to take his second shot. 11:10 to go in this one. Things started a little early for us tonight. Second shot is on the way and good. 26-26, Vikings on top. Auburn putting backcourt or full court press on as well. Riesdorf gets it in the forecourt, puts it down to the baseline, puts up the shot, no good. And we have a whistle and a foul on the rebound. And the foul is on New Auburn. So that'll be, I believe, their first foul of the half as well. Or is that their fourth foul of the half?
Yeah, that would be the fourth one.
Okay. Jack Charlo into the lineup for the Vikings. Long inbound pass. But it gets chased down in the backcourt by Ensminger. Feeds it over to the far side to Knudsen. Takes a jumper from the free throw line, and it does not go in. Down the floor comes New Auburn. Over into the right corner, putting up the shot off the side of the backboard. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Getting it over to the left side, we have it going out of bounds off the Vikings. Auburn will have it at the baseline. Feed it in, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on the Vikings. That one's on Albright. Second team foul on the Vikings. Down the floor. This is Roby at the free throw line, feeds it underneath. The shot goes up. It goes in by Harder, and we have a whistle and a foul. So that'll be foul number 3 for the Vikings this half. We have, again, a hockey line change going on for the Vikings. 5 in, 5 out.
Fouls on number 12, Jack Charlo for Colfax.
And Harder at the line for the +1. Shots on the way, and it's good. 36-29, Vikings lead cut to 7. And can't see who it was for the Vikings, but he lost the handle on the ball. It went out of bounds in the backcourt, and New Auburn has the ball. Chance to make a little run here is the New Auburn Trojans. They inbound it over to the right corner. They get it out high to Lotz. He's between the circles. Over to Johnson on the left. Free throw line extended. Now he dribbles back out high. They feed it underneath, and then they kick it out to the right corner. They try to put up a shot, but coming away with Gibson. He gets it into the forecourt, takes it himself, lays it up, no good. And New Auburn comes away with it. Elmhorst feeds it to Johnson, puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped around. And coming down with it is Hoffman. Feeds it down into the right corner. Now cross-court pass for the Vikings. Now over into the left corner. Back out high into the lane with Gibson's turnaround jumper off both sides of the iron. No good. And New Auburn coming back down the floor. They feed it to Elmhurst, who feeds it down underneath. Shot goes up, no good by Harder, and the Vikings come away with it. Feeding it down the right side. Now into the lane, putting the shot up is no good. That was Hajdukovic. And coming back down the floor is New Auburn. Shot from the corner is Roby. Overshot it a little bit. And Hajdukovic brings it back down the floor for the Vikings. Trying to go up with the shot, and fouled on his way up is Heidorn. Heidorn's going to go to the line for two.
$15 foul for New Auburn.
And we get a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, 8:56 to go in the game, you're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And back at New Auburn, and Dan, you were just pointing out Matt Elmhorst with 4 fouls for the New Auburn Trojans. That puts him in a little bit of foul trouble with 8:56 to go.
Yeah, they're gonna have to kind of go. Yeah, they're gonna have to kind of go deep into their short bench, deep into a short bench.
Right.
They have 8 players. Did you say
something like that?
I think so.
Well, it must be 9. I think I see 4 sitting on the bench as they come out on the floor. Noah Heidorn at the line for the Vikings, shooting 2. Here's his first shot on the way. No good. And the second shot is on the way. That one's good. 37-29, Vikings up by 8. And the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Down underneath, putting it up, no good. Second chance shot is good. I believe that was Hoffman who made that one. Down the floor comes New Auburn. Roby with it. Gets it out to Lotz. Feeds it back to Roby. They try to get down underneath. Ball gets tapped away, and the Vikings have it. We have a traveling call being called on Gibson. He had possession of the ball and took a seat on the floor. That was the travel. Anyway, New Auburn inbounds the ball. They get it into Peterson. For Roby. Now down underneath to Harder, who laid it up, and it's
offensive foul on Tristan Harder.
And that will be
16 foul for.
So the Vikings will be in the bonus from here on. Hajdukovic across the timeline for the Vikings. They get it over into the right corner. 3-pointer on the way, and that's a good one. 42-29, Vikings on top by 13. And the Vikings bat the ball away again. This time it was Hoffman laying it up and in. 44-29. Here comes New Auburn. They're really struggling with that press that the Vikings are putting on. Now they're driving into the lane, putting it up and in. That was Johnson on the layup. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Feeding it over to Gibson. Tries to cross-court it, and it went off the leg of a New Auburn player, so they're going to call him for kicking the ball. Back into the lineup is Matt Elmhurst for New Auburn. They inbound the pass. Our Vikings do. Now they have it at the top of the key. Hajdukovic with the shot, no good. Rebound, chased down, and the Vikings have it. Hajdukovic, no, check that. That's not Hajdukovic with the three from the top of the key. That was Heidorn, and it was no good. Rebound. Elmhorst has it for New Auburn. They feed it down the floor. Gets knocked out of bounds by Gibson. 44-31, 7:07 to go. And here comes the line change again. 5 in, 5 out. New Auburn lays it in from the baseline.
Tristan Harder.
Now the Vikings have it down in the forecourt. Down near the baseline, we have a whistle.
Knocked out by Colfax.
Oh, New Auburn has it. On the baseline. They feed it in, down the floor comes Lotz. Puts on the brakes, gets it out to Johnson between the circles. Feeds it over to Elmhorst. Now to Lotz, down in the left corner. Drives the left baseline. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Ensminger with it, gets it down into the right corner, back out to Ensminger. Now back down into the right corner. That's Knutson. Feeds it into the lane to Lenz. Turnaround jumper is good. 46-31, Vikings on top. And down the floor come New Auburn, and they try to get it across the timeline, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on the Vikings. That's foul number 4 on the Vikings.
Fouls on Tristan Lyons.
Inbound pass, a little bit long, gets picked up by Mitch Riesdorf for the Vikings. Over to Ensminger, takes it across the timeline. Feeds it into the lane to Albright. They kick it back out. Shot goes up, no good. New Auburn with it down the floor. They come on the right side. High, wide, and right with it. Now down into the corner. Out to Elmhurst. Now they feed it down underneath, and the layup is up and good. That was by Tristan Harder. Vikings try to bring it down. We have a timeout being called. Timeout on the floor. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And the Vikings have a 46-33 lead with 5:30 to go in today's game. By the way, the next girls basketball game that we're going to carry here on NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network will be on Thursday, January 7th. And the Vikings travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. That would be another remote broadcast from us. And with these remote broadcasts, we kind of do the best we can and we hang on for the ride. It's basically what happens. Ball got knocked out of bounds by New Auburn, and the Vikings have it. And Sminger drives to the lane, puts it up and in. 48-33, the Vikings on top. New Auburn feeds it down, and it goes in. That was a shot by Elmhurst. Quickly back down the floor come the Vikings, and Sminger feeds it into the lane. Ball gets knocked away by New Auburn, but the Vikings get it back. And a three-pointer goes in. That was by Max Knutson. 51-35, Vikings on top. Here it comes. Elmhurst with the shot. He put it up and in. He was wide open underneath. And we have another timeout on the floor. I don't remember the last time we had this many timeouts in a game, Dan. So the timeout on the floor, you're tuned to, well, you know what? We're going to keep it right here because a couple other things I want to remind you about. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow night, we have the Viking boys taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup, and it's going to be right here in Colfax. This is a makeup game for the game that was originally scheduled on December 8th. So Viking pregame will be at 6:55. Live play-by-play will be at 7:10 tomorrow night, right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also want to remind you that we're excited to announce that coming up in March, we're going to bring you Classic Wissota racing action. We're going to reprise 7 of the weekend races from Eagle Valley Speedway with a few added features. This will help you get ready for the 2021 racing season. Classic Wissota racing action starts on March 17th on NLWN-TV. Vikings to inbound the ball, 4:55 to go. And they have it in the backcourt. Ball gets knocked away by Johnson for New Auburn, and they lay it up and in. I believe that was Harder down underneath. Down the floor comes the Vikings, laying it up. And no, it doesn't go, and New Auburn back down the floor. Ball gets knocked away by the Vikings, and they're struggling for it as it goes out of bounds. They went out of our view, but the official standing right there, and he's saying there's a foul being called.
Duluth and New Auburn. Yep.
And now they're all walking out of our vision, so we don't know what they're doing on the floor right now. Camera person forgot to turn the camera. Now they go. Hey, see? Yes, it was a foul on New Auburn. So that must be 7?
17th foul for New Auburn.
And so the Vikings are at the line. First shot on the 1-on-1 is no good. That was Albright at the line. Down floor comes New Auburn. They feed it down to the baseline. And the shot goes up by Harder, and it's good. 51-41. New Auburn cuts the lead to 10. Gibson with it in the backcourt. New Auburn putting on full court pressure. Heidorn tries to take it into the forecourt, but he kind of got tripped going into the forecourt. And he's going to go to the line for another 1-on-1 situation. That's team foul number 8 against the New Auburn Trojans. And the first shot is on the way, and it's good. 52-41. Second shot by Heidorn is on the way off the front of the iron, no good. New Auburn chases it down. That's Lotz with the rebound. He's got it across the timeline, gets it to Johnson on the left side. Cross-court pass, shot goes up and through. A nice long three-pointer. I believe that was Trayton Roby with the three-pointer. And we're going to get a 5-second violation called against the Vikings. Took them too long to get the ball in, and the ball's going to go over to New Auburn. They've cut the lead to 8. 52-44. Vikings on top. New Auburn trying to make a bit of a run. Feed underneath the basket and up and in with the shot. I think that may have been Johnson with that shot. Or check that. That was Elmhurst. Vikings get it across the timeline. 52-46. Vikings up by 6. Long shot from the left corner is no good. Vikings come down with a rebound. They kick it out to Hoffman. Hoffman with a three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound taken down by New Auburn, and they come down the floor. They feed it underneath. The shot goes up by Johnson. It's no good. And the putback by Harder is good. 52-48. It's creeping closer and closer. Vikings have it in the forecourt. And we have a timeout call. Coach Noel wants to talk this over with his team. So with a timeout on the floor, we have 3:08 to go in the game. Vikings 52, New Auburn 48. Oh, they're saying New Auburn 50, so we're off by a couple, but you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, back at New Auburn, we have a much closer game than we expected, Dan. All of a sudden, 52-50, Vikings up by 2.
Yeah, Colfax has settled down a little bit, control the ball, run some clock, and get out of here with the win.
But they've got their hands full because right now New Auburn has the upper hand. Feed it to Gibson at the top, or at the free throw line. Now they get it over to the right or left side. Vukovic. Cross court pass to Heidorn. Heidorn feed to Gibson at the free throw line. Over to Erickson on the right. To Gibson, out high between the circles. Back over to Erickson, back to Gibson. Vikings killing a little bit of clock. Erickson, cross court pass over to Heidorn. Heidorn takes it down the left side. Circles back out. Now feeds it down now into the right side of the lane. Erickson feeds it to Hoffman, who kicks it back out to Gibson. Gibson cross court pass to Heidorn. Back over to Erickson on the right. High wide right. Cross court pass over to Heidorn. Gets it to Gibson, but the ball gets taken away. Here comes New Auburn, and they have just tied the game. We are tied at 52. Inbound pass being fought for on the floor. We have a whistle. And they did call it jump ball. And the possession arrow is in favor of the New Auburn Trojans. They inbound it. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Or check that. New Auburn ball. Vikings knocked it out. That's what I meant to say. All right, New Auburn inbound it. They get it in on the right side. Feed it down to the right baseline. Around, takes it into the lane, and the Vikings come away with it. Down across the timeline is Heidorn. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic on the left. Down in the corner, back out to Hajdukovic. Over to Heidorn. We are tied at 2. Are tied at 52-52. To Erickson on the right. Down to Hoffman, to Gibson in the lane. Hoffman out to Gibson, high, wide, and right. Now to Heidorn, between the circles, over to the left side to Hajdukovic. They feed it into the lane. They try to get a turnaround shot and lose the handle on the ball. Here comes New Auburn down the floor. Just over a minute to go. We're tied. Johnson with it, feeds it over to the right side. Driving down the baseline, puts it up, no good. Put back, and he's not going to get a chance to put it up because we got a foul being called on the Vikings.
He's got a good free throw from this.
And as soon as it turns this way a little bit, we'll let you know who's at the line.
Tanner Hoffman with the foul. That's his second.
15th foul on the Vikings. Shot is up and good. Auburn takes a lead, 53-52. Under a minute to go. Second shot on the way, and it's also good. Auburn up by 2, and Vikings to inbound once they give Gibson the ball. Now he's got it. Inbound pass. Vikings bring it down across the timeline. Hydorn with it, cross-court pass. Hajdukovic, high, wide, and left. Cross-court pass to Hydorn. Feed it to Gibson in the lane. Down underneath to Hoffman. Tries to put a shot up, but he loses control, and here comes New Auburn. And we have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt.
Timeout.
Timeout being called. Yeah, evidently it wasn't a foul. It was timeout being called by New Auburn. 25.9 seconds to go. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at Finish Your...
Back at New Auburn High School, Vikings trail by 2. New Auburn has the ball. Inbound pass, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Still be New Auburn's ball in the backcourt. Next inbound pass. This one's stolen by the Vikings, and now it gets knocked out of bounds by New Auburn. It will be Viking ball. So Gibson to inbound it for the Vikings. Feed it into the backcourt. Over to Hydorn. Hydorn down underneath.
10 seconds.
10 seconds remaining. Cross-court pass.
4.
Long shot goes up, no good. Rebound being taken out, goes out of bounds.
0.5 seconds left.
There's a half a second remaining in this game. It'll be Viking ball. You have to have 2/10 to be able to do something with it.
See if he calls the timeout.
And he does. Dan, what do you do in this situation?
It's got to be a little inbound play right on the baseline. Just touch it, and it's got to go in.
Almost an alley-oop type inbound pass.
Yep.
And
if you're going to shoot a three, it's going to have to be a real quick touch.
And they got to get at least the 2 to put it into overtime. I'll tell you what, you got to hand it to New Auburn. They were down by 13 with about halfway through the second half, and they just turned it on.
Yeah, they just kept chipping away, dumping it inside, getting it into Tristan Harder, and slowly got the lead down, and here we are.
And this is going to be very frustrating for the Vikings. No matter how this game comes out, this has got to be very frustrating. They had a game like this against Mondovi about a week ago, and where they were leading quite a ways through the game and unable to put it away, and that's exactly what's happening tonight, even if they do force overtime.
Yeah, let's see. Use all of Colfax's bigs here and just try to dump it into maybe Tanner Hoffman or Drew Gibson. And
looks like Hoffman is going to inbound it. Trojans got it, feeds it out. Gibson, the ball gets knocked loose, and
do we have a foul?
That's what it almost looks like. There was a foul call. The clock ran out.
There was a foul before the clock. It looks like Gibson's going to the line.
And Gibson is going to the line for the 1-and-1, or possibly even shooting 2. This will be foul number 9 on New Auburn. No time left on the clock.
And we are shooting free throws. With 0 seconds on the clock.
The New Auburn players are pulling off the line. Actually, all the players are pulling off the line, with the exception of Gibson. Because there is no time left, so he's going to shoot a free throw here. Shot is on the way. It's good. Oh, boy, Dan. Could we be heading to overtime?
It's good to have your senior on the line, though.
Second shot on the way. Oh, but it falls off. Oh, what a heartbreaking loss for the Vikings. 54-53 to the New Auburn Trojans. Gibson had a chance and just didn't get a chance. Did not put that second free throw in. And 54-53, the New Auburn Trojans steal one away from the Vikings. And we're going to have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back in our studios now. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. And we're kind of lamenting this loss by the Vikings. They had their chances. They had a big lead.
They did.
They had a big lead in the second half, couldn't hang on to it. New Auburn kept chipping away, and even with no time left on the clock, they had a chance with 2 free throws, and Drew Gibson made the first one, so it came down to that last free throw. Tell me that isn't every kid's dream, to be on the line to sink the game-winning, or at least the game-tying free throw, and he hit a lot of iron. It just didn't go through the backstop. So do you have some numbers for us, Dan?
I do. So for the New Auburn Trojans, their leading scorer tonight was number 44, Tristan Harden. He had 21 points, followed by number 4, Matt Elmhorst. He had 9. We had Braden Johnson with 8. We had number 5, Triton Roby with 6. We had Ethan Lotz with 4. We had Austin Wolver, Cole Peterson, and Brandon Lotz with 2 each. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was number 33, their senior Drew Gibson. He had 13 points, followed by Tanner Hoffman. He had 9. We had Mitch Riesdorf with 7. We had Elijah Ensminger with 6. We had Hunter Reebok with 4. We had Ryan Albeck with 4. And we had Max Knudsen with 3. And Caden Erickson with 2. So...
And bear in mind, folks, those are unofficial scores.
Unofficial.
It's basically what we've been able to see watching this game remotely, and we're seeing. Actually, we saw the same thing you did, and so we were trying to pick up numbers as best we could, and some of them were kind of hard to get sometimes. And seeing who did what, it's a whole lot easier when we're at the game, which we're going to be tomorrow night. However, tonight's game has got to be frustrating for the Vikings.
Yeah, they had their chances. They had that lead. They got a little lax here in the last 5 minutes, and New Auburn just kept dumping it into their big guy, number 44, Tristan Harden, and they just chipped away.
And, we were talking earlier about New Auburn didn't have a very deep bench. But you know what? They got just about everybody involved in scoring. In fact, Plzinski is the only one that I saw. Alex Plzinski is the only one that didn't do any scoring, and I'm not sure I called his name at all. That whether he was even in the game tonight, but that means everybody else was involved, and so
and that's what it takes: a team effort to get a win.
Now the Vikings. Boy, oh boy, they could not buy a shot tonight. So many shots actually didn't even get up toward the basket. There were real tough defense by both teams underneath the basket.
Yeah, and it started out really fast paced, and could be a part of the factor in the end. Maybe legs were getting a little tired. They were a little out of control at the beginning, and who knows?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, we'll be back to wrap this one up, put a final wrap on it right after this timeout. Folks, you are tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey!
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And we're back here. I don't know why that popped up, but anyway, we're back here in our studios of the NLWN-TV. And that last ad that we just ran, Dan, I think of your wife every time I see that ad because she likes to get you with the trombone just like that lady did with the teenage boy and the trumpet.
There's never a dull moment in this house of mine.
So anyway, Vikings lose a heartbreaker tonight, 54-53 to the New Auburn Trojans. That's 3 losses in a row. They got to snap this losing streak.
Yeah. Yep. They got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. They got a break coming up here pretty soon, so that'll be good to get everybody healthy if anybody is kind of dinged up and
get ready for after Christmas break.
Well, I'll tell you what, of the 3-game losing streak, 2 of them were non-conference, so 2 of them really don't matter other than you got to develop that winning habit and winning attitude. The chance to gear up and get things fixed doesn't last very long because I got to go right back at it again tomorrow as they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in Colfax. And we're going to have that one for you. Viking pregame at 6:55, live play-by-play at 7:10. And we're sure on those times.
Right. Yeah.
So 6:55 and 7:10 for that. They kind of caught us by surprise getting started about an hour ahead of schedule tonight. So, for Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, New Auburn Trojans 54, Vikings 53. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.